guys, so today we are finally taking a closer look at something I've had a lot of requests and questions about recently, and that is of course my Team Wendy helmet build and night vision setup. Now I do want to say at the start of this video, whilst this is the setup I run for Airsoft and especially for Milsim, I wouldn't necessarily call this an Airsoft helmet build. Everything on this helmet apart from one item is real steel, which means if you are looking to build a setup for the range or training or night shooting, this is still very applicable. But because of those real steel parts, this of course does incur a much more expensive cost. So if you are looking to build a cheaper replica Airsoft helmet build, throughout this video I will be leaving a link to a second video I've done on a cheaper build. So to begin with, I need to answer the question, why would you want to spend a lot of money on an expensive real steel helmet build just to run Airsoft at Milsim? Well, myself and my team have been looking at investing in night vision, and it is now something we run at Ops and Games, and you don't want to be running a night vision unit hanging off the front of a replica Airsoft helmet. The mounts on there are not designed to carry any weight, and they're definitely not designed with the precision and the accuracy of a real steel mount. But at the same time, we didn't want to carry the extra weight of a real ballistic helmet. So this is when we start taking a look at the Team Wendy Exfil Ltp. Now the LTP is the high impact or bump version of their carbon and ballistic Exfil helmet, and features all the same internals with the cam fit retention system, and most importantly, the machined aluminium built-in Wilcox MVG shroud. So this helmet is the perfect choice if you are looking for all the real steel internals but not having to worry about the ballistic weight. Now I do have to say the Zorbium foam lining and the cam fit retention system do make this the most comfortable and adjustable helmet setup I've ever ran. And I can see why most people who run Cry airframes and even OpsCore helmets usually end up switching out the internals for a Team Wendy setup, because it is a very comfortable build. So to pick up a Team Wendy Exfil Ltp in the UK, you are looking at anywhere between £390 and £450. So moving on to the helmet setup itself, I have the size 2 helmet, which is the larger of the two options, and with that I have the Team Wendy size 2 multicam cover, which the guys at Team Wendy were kind enough to send me, but in the UK does retail for around about £95, so it is very expensive, but it does finish off the helmet nicely. Now alongside the Wendy helmet cover, I also have the official Team Wendy Peltor rail adapters. Now for this build you do have to use the official adapters, and that is simply because of the unique design on the rails on the side of the helmet. Now in the UK these do retail in for around about £105. I was lucky enough to get these from a friend in America, which did save a little bit of money. Now these adapters work really well as they do allow you to slide your headset up and away from your ears if you aren't wanting to use them, and keep them attached to your helmet, which is a really useful feature. Now on these adapters I am running the Peltor Comtac XPs, which I currently only run for sound amplification and hearing protection, which is very useful when grenades are going off in a confined area, but I could buy a 3-pin microphone and a down lead and turn these into a similar Comtac 3 setup. Now the Peltor XPs retail in the UK for around about £150. Now moving on to the back of the helmet is where the only replica item is located, and this is the FMA Mantas Strobe. Now the real S&S Precision Mantas Strobe comes in at around £200. This was £35 and it has a green light feature and an IR feature, which is all you really need when you're using it with night vision to locate and identify teammates. Now above this I have a simple red V-light, which is good to indicate you're a dead player when playing during night games. Now moving to the back rear of the helmet is where I have my counterweight pouch. Now this actually serves two purposes. During nighttime games I will actually have counterweights in there to try and help balance the helmet with the weight of the night vision on the front, and during the daytime I actually keep my GoPro external battery in there to help keep my GoPro charged throughout the day. Now next to this I also run CR123A spare batteries. These are what power my night vision, my PEQ box, and even my torches, so keeping them on you is pretty key, and having them at the back of the helmet also helps work as a counterweight balance for my GoPro and night vision. Now talking of night vision, on the Wilcox shroud I am running a genuine Rhino mount with a PVS-14 J-arm to connect my night vision to. Now the Rhino mount system is quite an old system these days, and you can pick up a genuine Rhino mount and J-arm for around about £200 or less. In the future I probably am going to invest in some kind of Wilcox mount. It's much smaller, more compact, and a lot more reliable. Now to ensure that my night vision is safe, I am running a Wilcox Lanyard Failsafe system. This is simply a lanyard that hooks to your night vision and is secured to your helmet, so if the J-arm is knocked or comes away from your helmet, it will just dangle in front of you and not fall to the floor. Now moving on to my night vision itself, this is something I get a lot of questions about regarding how much does it cost, where can I get one, and what type of unit is it. Well, this is an Act in Black Lunox unit. It's a Gen 3 night vision, which is the latest generation of night vision, which of course means it does come with a pretty hefty cost. But it is civilian legal, you can buy them in Europe off the internet, and it has no ITAR restrictions, so it is a very good unit if you are looking for something new. Now in Europe, if you are looking to buy a Generation 3 unit with an auto gate feature, you are looking around about £3,100. So definitely not a price tag to be taken lightly, but I do get a lot of questions asking where can I buy good and cheap night vision, and I'm afraid to say that is merely a pipe dream. If you want good, useful Generation 3 night vision and you don't mind it being second hand, the least you're going to be looking at is around about £1,500. Now the gameplay you're looking at here is actually recorded with a Sandy cam by my friend James from Cobalt. This was down at the Blue Fox 2 event recently. Now this is a slightly different unit, but it is Generation 3, so it is the same quality as my own. So what you're looking at here is a similar standard you will get with a Gen 3 night vision. Now, the blurry lines and stuff you can see on there isn't the night vision, that's the quality of the camera itself, so I apologise for that. But as you can see, it definitely does give you an advantage in a pitch black situation. Now just using my mobile phone, I tried to record a little test to show you guys the advantage of having night vision. You can see at first here what it's like using the human eye, what you can see, and then as I switch over to look through the night vision, you can see how clearly you can see. So if you're using this on the field, it is going to give you a clear advantage. But not only that, I do have to admit, night vision does give you a very cool sense of immersion. At the latest event, moving through a field with about 20 to 30 guys, all with night vision with IR lasers and IR torches, moving towards enemy players that could see pretty much nothing and had no clue we were there, was a very cool sensation. So that about wraps up this helmet build. As I said, it's definitely not a cheap option. You're looking at around about just under £4,000 or under $5,500. But as I said, this isn't just an option for airsoft. If you do real steel shooting or hunting or training, this is definitely still an option for you. Now, as I said, I will leave a link to a cheaper replica helmet build I have done previously at the end of this video, so if you do want to do something on a bit of a tighter budget, that will be at the end of the video. And of course, stay tuned if you want to see more gameplay from this event that you're looking at right here. Stay tuned for next week. But in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.